Is it truly about unfinished love, or is there a hidden motive fueling Remy Ma's refusal to let Papoose leave her life for good? The street chatter has been deafening. Whispers of alimony checks, rumors of jealousy, and the ever-present drama of a new love interest stepping into the picture. This saga has the makings of a hip-hop soap opera, complete with heartbreak, lingering secrets, and shocking revelations. But beyond the headlines lies a deeper story that countless fans never saw coming. How did two people once so devoted to each other spiral into this tangled mess? And where does Clarissa Shields fit in when she's trying her best to build a future with Pap? Stay with me to the end, because each twist in this triangle adds new layers to the mystery. One moment, you'll think Remy Ma's motives are purely sentimental. The next, you'll hear allegations that point to something far more strategic. Is she terrified of losing her hold on the past? Or is she bracing herself for financial hits she wants to avoid at all costs? No matter which side you fall on, you'll want to hear every bit of drama, every rumor, and every piece of evidence that has been quietly lurking beneath the surface. From the early days when Pap stood by Remy's side through unimaginable challenges, to the present moment where Clarissa is sharing sweet sentiments and forging new paths with him, each chapter in this saga reveals a fresh shock. Prepare for twists on top of twists, unfiltered speculation, and plenty of receipts that suggest Remy might be playing her own brand of chess. Get comfortable and ready yourself for a story that digs deeper than your average rumor mill. Because if there's one thing this situation promises, it's that nothing is quite as it seems. Remy Ma and Papoose weren't always entangled in a messy back and forth. In the beginning, their bond was the stuff of hip-hop fairy tales. They met in the mid-2000s, drawn together by music, shared ambitions, and a rare kind of devotion. Even before Remy's most challenging days, the two had a certain spark, an unspoken agreement to ride for each other no matter what. Then, when Remy faced serious legal issues that ultimately resulted in her incarceration, Pap didn't flinch. Instead of running from the storm, he ran straight into it, vowing to remain by her side. To fully appreciate how extraordinary that was, consider the circumstances of Remy's prison term. She went away in 2008, right as her budding career could have skyrocketed to new heights. But even that didn't extinguish Pap's commitment. He was right there on the phone with her, day in and day out, ensuring she knew she was not alone. They even got married over the phone, an almost legendary move that proved their love could withstand life's harshest tests. During her time behind bars, Remy wrote music, dropped mixtapes, and tried to keep her name alive. Yet it was Pap who took the baton and championed her cause. He promoted her tracks, rallied fans, and appeared on radio shows to spread the word that Remy Ma would be back, better than ever. By the time 2014 rolled around and Remy walked free, their relationship had evolved into a defining example of loyalty in hip-hop culture. It's not every day you find a partner willing to hold things down for nearly 6 years, especially under the public eye and pressure. When people talk about launch relationship goals, they often point to grand gestures. But Pap's steady dedication was something else entirely. It became emblematic of a love that refuses to break, a bond that defies the typical narrative of couples who drift apart during prison sentences. Their story became a bright highlight in reality TV appearances, from Love and Hip Hop New York, to special spin-off features showcasing their wedding ceremony and family life. Sure, they faced drama like every couple does, but for a while, they appeared stronger than ever, compared to those in the industry who break up over far smaller hurdles. In retrospect, this unwavering closeness set the stage for how shocking the next chapters would become. How could two people who stuck together through bars, legal problems, and the pressures of the music industry end up on such opposite ends of a battlefield? Hints of trouble surfaced here and there, allegations of tension over money, rumors that Remy felt overshadowed or that Pap felt underappreciated. But in the public eye, no real cracks seemed big enough to tear them apart. Little did we know, the tides were turning behind the scenes, and what followed would leave fans questioning everything. Enter Clarissa Shields, a dynamic force known for her exceptional skills in the boxing world. She's not just any fighter, she's a multi-division champion, Olympic gold medalist, and an outspoken personality unafraid to claim her space. When Clarissa first connected with Papoose, it may have seemed like just a casual acquaintance. Yet over time, small gestures blossomed into clear signs of romance. Instagram tributes, behind-the-scenes glimpses of them sharing laughter, and birthday shoutouts that gushed with affection. Suddenly, social media was filled with snapshots of Clarissa calling Pap her king, her rock, her daily inspiration. Observers couldn't help but raise eyebrows. Wasn't Papoose still legally married to Remy Ma? Even more, how did we leap from the quintessential ride-or-die couple to Pap apparently exploring a future with someone else? Clarissa never backed down from any of this, showing a boldness that matched her reputation in the ring. If anything, her confidence in stepping into the public eye with Pap demonstrated that she wasn't content being anyone's secret. This wasn't just rumor-fueled gossip. Receipts poured in from every corner of the internet. Clarissa posted warm messages about Pap's music, praising his dedication to the craft. She dropped hints that they spent intimate evenings together, cooking at home, watching classic fights, or planning philanthropic ventures. In each post, she radiated admiration and genuine care, a reflection that she believed their bond was real and headed somewhere meaningful. But as the chemistry between Clarissa and Pap grew, the big question loomed. Where did that leave Remy Ma? According to various sources, Pap had already been asking Remy for a divorce multiple times. People who once idolized the Remy-Pap love story struggled to reconcile these two versions, the unwavering devotion of the past and this new reality. Where Pap was with Clarissa, effectively waiting for an official go-ahead to move on with his life. This situation only fueled more rumors. Some speculated that Remy was devastated emotionally, still holding on to the possibility of reconciliation. Others whispered that it was more strategic, that Remy didn't want Pap to officially end the marriage unless she got favorable terms, especially when it came to finances. For Clarissa, the entire scenario was frustrating. Here she was, openly pouring her heart out to a man she adored, yet he remained legally tethered to another woman. Despite all that, Clarissa's social media presence never wavered. She showcased their relationship with pride, as if to say, "We're solid, so let's get those papers signed." It's almost impossible to ignore the parallels between Clarissa's unwavering support and Pap's past loyalty to Remy. Just as Pap stood by Remy when the chips were down, Clarissa now appears ready to fight for him, literally and figuratively, if it means fending off negativity or old baggage. The question is, how long can that unwavering stance last when every official step toward a new life seems to be blocked? Now, let's confront the elephant in the room. Why won't Remy Ma finalize her split from Pap? Fans and insiders have thrown around multiple theories, but one stands out loud and clear: finances. Remy Ma's net worth is estimated in the millions, buoyed by her music career, reality TV appearances, and entrepreneurial ventures like her clothing line. Pap, on the other hand, is reported to have a more modest net worth. In many divorces, the spouse with the greater income or assets often faces the possibility of paying spousal support, commonly known as alimony. Remy may well be crunching the numbers. Her brand, built on years of hustle and rap battles, major signings, and reality TV deals, could see a hit if the courts determine that Pap deserves term financial support. And let's not forget that Pap's loyalty during her prison stint wasn't just emotional, he actively promoted her work, public interest, and kept her name buzzing. That behind-the-scenes effort has a tangible value, strengthening his potential if a judge sees how integral Pap was to Remy's success. For Remy, that may mean handing over a chunk of her earnings indefinitely. A quick glance at their marriage timeline reveals a long history of legally recognized union, extending from 2008, when they wed Remy being incarcerated, all the way through her release, the start of her new projects, and beyond. Longevity in marriage typically increases the likelihood and duration of alimony. Possibility alone could be enough for Remy to press the pause button on any final divorce decree. However, money is rarely the sole in a breakup this complicated. Could lingering feelings be at play? Remy's abrupt entanglement with Easy the Block. Captain suggests she's exploring new paths, yet her refusal to let go points to unresolved emotions or controlling tendencies. Some fans speculate she can't stomach the idea of Pap fully committing to another woman in the public sphere. After all, the Remy-Pap love story was iconic for so many. Letting that image go might feel like her legacy as hip-hop's ride-or-die wife. There's also the matter of Remy's brand. She's always been seen as a tough, outspoken in music, but she's also cultivated a narrative of loyalty and resilience. Losing Pap in an official capacity and facing the media fallout could threaten that built image. So maybe she's weighing the public relations aspect right alongside the financial realities. Whatever the reasoning, one thing is clear: Pap's repeated for a legal break remain unanswered, leaving everyone on edge, especially Clarissa. Shields simply wants a fresh start with her partner. From Pap's vantage point, the frustration has got to be immense. We're talking about a man who once championed loyalty as his life's mission, only to himself in a situation where his own requests for independence are left hanging. According to multiple reports, Pap has asked Remy several times to sign the divorce papers. In one scenario, he even confided to close friends that he was exasperated by her refusal, stating that every attempt to break free was met with more drama. Then there are the screenshots, supposed text messages, and social media posts that paint a picture of open hostility. One particularly heated exchange shows Clarissa airing her annoyance that Pap didn't let her know he got home safely, adding, "You're the one who's still married. I can't spend the night on the phone if you're not with me in person. So, the least you could do is say you're okay." Remy reportedly leaked this to show that Pap might be juggling responsibilities poorly, but the public mostly rallied behind Clarissa's point. After all, checking in is a standard courtesy. Remy didn't stop there. She's hinted at audio recordings of Pap supposedly getting physical with her or threatening to call the authorities. Pap has categorically denied these accusations, suggesting that Remy is desperate to frame him in a bad light now that he's found happiness elsewhere. Without definitive proof surfacing, it's impossible to know the truth, but the swirling rumors are enough to keep fans divided. Some see Remy as a scorned woman who's lashing out. Others think Pap may not be so innocent. In the midst of all this, Pap remains by Clarissa's side, appearing at her matches, giving her the same level of support he once gave Remy. It's an echo of how dedicated he was back in the day, except now that devotion is reserved for Clarissa. Every heartfelt social media post from Clarissa praising Pap's love is a glaring reminder to Remy that he's moved on to someone who appreciates him openly. One can only imagine the tension behind the scenes, with Remy forced to watch them building a life together while refusing to sign off on his freedom. Is Pap entirely blameless? Some fans argue he might be fueling the fire by flaunting his relationship with Clarissa before finalizing the divorce. But others say he's a grown man who wants to live his truth. After all those years supporting Remy, maybe he believes he's owed the chance to enjoy his own life on his own terms, even if it means stepping on the toes of a past love. Ultimately, these questions highlight the complexity of the situation. There's rarely a neat black and white answer when it comes to broken relationships and fresh starts. Meanwhile, Remy Ma hasn't exactly been single and pining. Word spread about her alleged connection with Easy the Block Captain, another name in the rap battle scene. She appeared at events standing close to him, rumored to be giving him the same star support she once gave Pap. If social media speculation is to be believed, Remy felt a new spark, something that made her think she'd finally moved on from her marriage. Yet, if moving on was truly that simple, why hasn't she signed the papers? One possible explanation: her relationship with Easy might not have unfolded as she expected. Some fans note that Easy has already been spotted with younger women, fueling gossip that Remy got sidelined in the same way Pap was sidelined years ago. According to certain sources, Remy saw red when Easy began drifting away. Suddenly, all that talk of new love couldn't mask the heartbreak she felt. In times of emotional crisis, people sometimes cling to what's familiar, even if it's a marriage they supposedly want out of. Remy might be trying to keep Pap legally bound until she's absolutely certain of her next move. The heartbreak of seeing Easy step out with other women could have reignited old insecurities, prompting her to tighten her grip. It might not make logical sense from the outside. If she's done, right? But emotions often defy logic. Beyond personal heartbreak, Remy's brand is still a valuable asset. Appearing indecisive could harm her standing with fans who admired her for projecting a strong, no-nonsense image. If she finalizes the divorce and doesn't have a stable new relationship, some might interpret it as a fall from grace. Maintaining the status quo at least gives her time to strategize, weigh her options, and if Easy returns, or if she's better off another path entirely. On the flip side, possible Remy simply can't bear to watch Pap's star rise in someone else's. Despite her own rumored romances, the sting of seeing perform on Clarissa's big nights and her glowing in return could be too much to handle. Even if Remy wants out of the marriage on paper, she may not want to witness the blow of Pap publicly celebrating his freedom with another woman. Jealousy is a potent force, especially when with